Hello everyone, my name is Oksana. It's Road to Edoverse Weekly Edoverse Insider the 59th. We deliver the news about the creation of our project Edoverse. And Tokugawa-san, could you please open the session?
Okay, yes, thank you, Oksana. Hello, everybody. This is Iehiro Tokugawa. The fourth and final session on the daimyo. Now, you see, daimyo, well, I've been stressing the fact that the daimyo differ greatly in size. So some were 100 times, the one was 100 times as large as the smallest one. And the second largest was like 70 times as large as the smallest one, and so on and so forth. And also important was the fact that since Japan has so much geographical diversity, you see, even today we have from Hokkaido to Okinawa, and so semi-Arctic to the semi-tropical. So it doesn't mean that all these dominions are suitable for the cultivation of rice. And also what they would grow and how they would grow and what kind of business they would be involved in differed greatly. Yes, and so but they were all measured in terms of koku, like the amount of rice that could be harvested and taxed. So, but the reality, of course, was better adapted to the realities. Yes, the reality was adapted to the reality. So the northernmost daimyo, the Matsumae, in the southern tip of Hokkaido, they were treated as mid-ranking, about 100,000 koku annual revenue, but they did not grow rice at all. So, and their revenue was measured in terms of all the fishery production. So they were catching salmon and mackerel, and that's how their revenue was measured. And then you see, so the koku, everything being measured in terms of the rice harvested was just really a legal fiction. And then on the southern tip, there was Kagoshima or Satsuma. Got ruled by the mighty Shimazu, who are pretty much still there. And so what's interesting here is that Shimazu is one daimyo under the military command of the shogun. But at the same time, they were the masters of the independent kingdom of Ryukyu, present-day Okinawa. You see, and this was an enormous privilege, as the Ryukyu kingdom back then was a suzerainty of China. First of the Ming and then eventually of the Qing, as the dynasties, there was dynastic change in China. So, and this meant that Ryukyu had the right to trade with China. You see, in the Chinese logic, there were the official protectorates who had the right to send emissaries to the Chinese imperial court and would be granted plenty of gifts in exchange for their show of loyalty. And that was official trade. And all Japanese daimyo wanted that, but none could because of the war between Japan and China on Korean soil. And the Shimazu was granted by the shogun this great privilege to use the Ryukyu kingdom as another channel for trade with China. You see, and as a result, the Satsuma dominion had so many samurai compared to other dominions. In terms of per thousand in population, they had 3 or 4 times as many samurai, and then this dominion would become like the central force of the Meiji Restoration. So it means that the shogun would grant privilege to a family that would, like 250 years later, become the leader in overthrowing the shogun. And this is standard Japanese historiography, but it doesn't make much sense to me. So both Tokugawa Japan and the Meiji Restoration, probably demand closer scrutiny and closer and more careful scrutiny. And by the way, so what happened to the daimyo is that, they suffered enormously throughout Tokugawa Japan, not because the shogun was trying to weaken them or anything, but because they could tax only the harvest of rice, but the economy kept growing and kept diversifying. So for all the goods that are produced all over Japan, the tax base was constantly shrinking. And so all the daimyo would try to develop their own new products that they can sell in Osaka and Edo to improve their financial standing. But most were heavily in debt by the end of Tokugawa times, and which is reflected in the fact that in Edoverse, all the daimyo mansions around Edo Castle are sold. Yes, and this is a very realistic interpretation of Tokugawa Japan. And actually, with the Meiji Restoration, all the daimyo were racing against each other to give up their feudal privileges, and there's good reason for that, because each daimyo received in the end from Emperor Meiji 10% of the annual revenue of his dominion. That was an enormous amount of money, So yes, and you just calculate it. It's each domain is like half of a prefecture in Japan. 10% of the annual revenue of that prefecture. How much that would be? And then they were ennobled again by the emperor, and most of the independent Tozama daimyo, they were granted seats in the imperial diet. So they were better off under the Meiji system than during Tokugawa times. Most importantly, they didn't have to worry about their running their dominions anymore. And this is probably the greatest reason why the Meiji Restoration was a bloodless revolution. The new Meiji government had enough resources to pay off the old guard rulers. And that was, and so, yeah. And I think that's enough for this time. And thank you, Oksana, and bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you very much, Tokugawa-san. And JJ, could you please join us? What news do you have?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Oksana. Hi, anyone. I think the previous monthly Insider was really nice. Nice opportunity for all of you guys to understand the current situation in Edoverse, what's happening there. So yeah, it was really nice content, and it's so compact and easy to understand and simplified well. It was really nice. And we already mentioned that I think the current NFT market condition is not so good. So we need to, inject some, another energy to our, current market, right? So currently we are trying to have some new partnership with certain entities, which can allow us to, use our tokens and use our NFTs in kind of, settlement. I mean, we can make some transaction in our metaverse. Of course, in terms of, fiat, not fiat currency, sorry, fungible token, like cryptocurrencies, it's so tough for us to follow all of the regulation in Japan and also in some, Asian countries. But once we could have some agreement with nice companies, then we can pass those types of, regulations. And then maybe we can provide some really exciting and nice and creative opportunities for all of the NFTs holders and also Zen holders as well. Because we are currently, trying to do something new and something exciting. Cannot tell you, something specific yet, but because we are trying to do so. But I think basically it's going to be working. And once it's done, then that's going to be huge news for our, NFT sales as well. So yeah, condition is totally changing. And I think even like CloneX, it's one of the famous tier 1 project. It's also, so tough situation now. I mean, the floor price of CloneX is getting down and down. So I think the peak time price was like 17 Ether or something, was the floor price of CloneX, currently 2.8 Ethereum. So almost like 15% or 18% the valuation of the, toppest price, even the CloneX. So I don't know, Bake could be in certain difficult situation in the future, because NFT is not so easy for all of the market, like for all of the market players. Like they just show the picture and just show the movies. It's boring anymore. So we have to give some kind of utilities, of course, and kind of transaction opportunities by using these NFTs. But of course, we cannot say this NFT is going to be cryptocurrency because NFT and cryptocurrency is totally different. So need to explain what's the difference and what's the valuation and what's the fundamental value of NFT and cryptocurrency. So I think the way and the direction we are trying to walk in and run in is not so wrong. So we need to, continue to develop our space. Also, we need to refine the token ecosystem as well. So hope to give you some good and really exciting news within, I don't know, a couple of weeks. And yeah, anyway, I'm looking forward to giving you some, nice campaign. Thank you so much. That's enough from my side. Yeah.
Thank you very much, JJ. And hello, Martin. Do you have something new?
Hi. Well, as I said before, I do think that the fact that Japan is a very highly and strictly regulated market is actually one of our biggest advantages. And the hoops that are put there by the Japanese authorities, we're in very good standing to be one of the most trustworthy metaverses on the market. And obviously that goes for the NFTs and our tokens as well. So obviously it's up to the team over there, again, Shunta and everybody to pass those stringent regulations. And once we've done that, I do think we're in an unassailable position, very, very strong. So I know it must be a really tough grind for the guys to meet all the criteria that are put in place by the Japanese authorities, but I definitely think it's worth us making the effort to do so, because in the long run, that's really going to add a lot of value to this whole enterprise. The other thing, I like to mention the news, and I guess the biggest news in our kind of domain here is the Super Mario Brothers movie. So if you look at Rotten Tomatoes, the critics are hating this movie, but the regular consumers have it at like 98, a rating of 98. So yeah, I mean, we should be proud that a Japanese IP can command such a massive audience. And obviously, Super Mario is one of the greatest video game creations of all time. It comes from Japan, and it's really permeated the consciousness of the entire world. So yeah, that's a really, really encouraging thing. Pokemon is the other really big one, but again and again we see the creativity of the Japanese finding a resonance with audiences all over the world, and I do think that the same will be able to be said for the Edoverse when we get it up and running, and we're going to have a really deeply engaged audience. And I think we can find a similar resonance hopefully going forward. So yeah, that's my 2 cents for this week.
Thank you very much. It's very inspiring, I think. Yes. Also, Shunta, do you have something on your mind?
Hello, everyone. I have one information today too. We are going to exhibit Edoverse at Tokyo Big Sight on May 10th to 12th. At this exhibition, we will have a demo version of the Edoverse, so you can move the demo version. Please, looking forward to it.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, everybody who is in Tokyo, please come and meet us there. And Dominique, could you please sum up?
Hi, everyone. Blockchain Expo, I think in May. I'm just really looking forward because that we can show you some demo version, as Shunta mentioned, and that's going to be a little exciting. But still, that very alpha version. Since we just can confirm that what's the inside of our Edoverse now, but we have a lot of improvements. We will see that that real sort of game version of Edoverse at the end of this year. So it's I cannot wait. Actually, it's very exciting. And then we also, I think, we're happy to just announce that our sponsor soccer team, the Edo United, is actually 2 consecutive one that they made that the last year's #1 soccer team. That was great, actually. Yeah, I hope that they can just step up more and just like Edoverse, just development that we actually are too busy, and also 1 week is too fast. Yeah, just only 7 days. I think we have many things to do. So, and then we will announce that very soon the digital twin projects. One is that kind of a sort of amusement park project in the future, but that is actually the first point that it should be step by step. That the one step in the first will be the showroom of the amusement park and also amusement system, and then in the future that we can just open an amusement park, but maybe I think in a few years later. And at the same time, museum, ukiyo-e museum, actually, there's still under development, but we can just open that thing from June, and you can buy the ukiyo-e NFTs. It's very soon. Please just to prepare for just, looking, watching the beautiful ukiyo-e in Edoverse satellite space, and also please just collect those NFTs of ukiyo-e in the future. And also the last week, 5th of April, maybe I don't think many people know it, as the birthday of Satoshi Nakamoto was on the 5th of April. That was actually registered by the peer-to-peer some foundations. That was actually, according to the data, that his age is 48 years old. That's actually, it's a very memorable date, actually, that 5th of April. And after just he was born, and then he just proposed that the new idea of capitalism, the peer-to-peer system, our capitalism system is going to change in the future. And he's just warning that the existing banking system, the older things, and then we need kind of a new ecosystem. Of course, Edoverse is one of part of those. I'm actually, I'm really, I want to congratulate the birthday at the same time that we want just do with him, to develop the peer-to-peer system just inside of Metaverse, and then we're just developing the Edoverse. So I hope that the many people can just join us, and then please just help us a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dominique, and thank you everybody for delivering the news today. So we will meet next week. Goodbye.